Hello everyone, welcome to TechSharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important example related to API in Angular, where we will fetch the records from a server on the basis of page number. So this is a manual approach where I'll show you like how you can divide multiple records from your server as into different pages, and then you can fetch the data. Okay. So I'll show you the output and then we will write the code according to that. So let me show you the code that I have already executed, and then I'll show you how you can implement the similar kind of logic. So I just executed my code. So it will take few seconds and then it will show you the output on the browser screen, and then we will verify it. So you can see it shows two heading: Angular course by TechSharmit, then pagination, get users with page number using get API in Angular. Then we have page number, that is 2, and 6 to 10 record. So basically what I'm doing here, like I'm using this JSONPlaceholder free API or endpoint where we have only 10 records. Okay, so from those 10 records, I want to consider the initial 5 record as page number 1 and the remaining 5 record as a page number 2. And according to that logic, it shows me the page number 2 record as from 6 to 10. Okay, so this is exactly like how we are utilizing the API. Now what I'll do, I'll explain you the entire code behind this, like what we have implemented for to achieve this. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use pagination in Angular manual approach. But prior to that, you should know how to fetch all the data from server using get API, how to fetch data for a specific user ID. So these examples we have already covered, right? Okay, so now I'll walk you through the code. So the very first and very important thing is to activate the HTTP client. Now the question comes how you will activate it and why it is important. Because we are going to use HTTP client in our logic, so that is why it is very important to activate it for the entire application. Now to activate this thing, what I'll do, you have to just look for this file, that is main.ts. In this main.ts, you will look for this bootstrap application, and then there you have to mention this line. So what this line is basically doing here, provide HTTP client, it is activating the HTTP client for the whole application. Okay, so for the entire application, it will provide you the HTTP client, and once it is there, now you are good to use it in your application. Okay. So now here I have already noted down the entire logic or entire code, but don't worry, I'll explain you each and every line. We will discuss everything from scratch. I'm not rewriting it again from scratch because I don't want to waste time on these things. Instead of that, we will discuss the things in detailed manner so that you can spend rest of your time in practice purpose. Okay, fine. So now we have idea what URL we are going to use. We have idea how we are going to fetch the data. So let's see how we will write the logic in app.component.ts file. So for now in HTML, you can assume that we have only this part: heading, Angular course by TechSharmit, and pagination, get user with page number using get API in Angular. So these two headings we have, and now we will write the logic firstly inside the app.component.ts. Now remember, this is just a demo and manual approach. That is why we will write it in a different way. Otherwise, you can directly mention the page number and limit. It will fetch you the output. That maybe I'll show you in the next example. But for now, you have to follow this approach. Okay, this is just another way to use the concept of pagination. Okay, so here what I'm doing, firstly, like we know that we have 10 records total, right? And I want to fetch 3 records per page. So let me change the page to 1, and per page 3 records. So I'll make it as page size as 3. Okay, fine. Now what we will do, we will create 2 arrays. In first array, we will fetch records, we will fetch and store record as per the page size, and in second array all users we will store the entire data. So you can see we are doing the pagination manually, because this is also a alternative way that you might use in your examples. Okay, so first array is to store the specific user as per the page number, and second array is mainly to store the entire data. Okay, then we have page 1 and page size. So page 1 is mainly it will help us to write the logic to fetch the data on the basis of page number and page size. Now after this we have declared the constructor. So to write the constructor, you just need to write constructor opening parenthesis, then private keyword HTTP, then colon HttpClient. So now if you want to use this tools that are present in HttpClient, you can directly use this HTTP, and remember it should be imported here. So when I write and press enter on it, it automatically added this thing for me, but always make sure that it is imported, otherwise it won't work. Okay, then next we have is NgOnInit, and always make sure to open close the parenthesis before moving to the next method. Now those who have already watched the previous session, they know about the NgOnInit method. So NgOnInit method is mainly used like when we want to execute the code, like we will keep only those code here which we want to execute at the time of application load. Okay, so it will automatically executed, this method will automatically executed when the application is loaded. Okay, so that is why it is the best place to define your API. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using this .http .get any of array, because we are going to receive the array any type. Then I provided my endpoint here, which is https://JSONPlaceholder.typecode.com/users. So this is the same endpoint which I just show you on the browser. So this is the same. Okay, so this is the endpoint that we are using here, and this is a free endpoint, so you can also use it for your practice purpose. Okay, then you can write .subscribe data, this .allUsers data. So what mainly we are doing here, we are capturing the entire data from the API server, and then we are storing it into the allUsers array. Okay, so we captured the data, we assigned it to all users, and then we are executing the method that is update page. Now I'll show you what is the logic inside this update page. So what we are basically doing here, we have created this start constant, which is nothing but a start point. So how to calculate a start point? This dot page minus 1 into this dot page size. So for now the page is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Then 0 into page size is 3. So 3, 0. So start position will become 0. Likewise, we are calculating the end point, end position, not end point. Otherwise you might get confused. So end position. So start, that is 0 now. So 0 plus this dot page size. So end page size is 3. So 0 to 3. So start position is 0 and end position is 3. And after that we are using slicing method to store that specific record into this users array. So as we planned earlier, we are just storing a specific record from 0 to 3 as page number 1. Okay, so we have stored it. That's it. So that's the logic, manual approach. What we did here, we captured the entire data, stored it into we captured the entire data, stored it into all users array, and then we use a specific record as a page. Per page 3 record. Okay, so component.ts logic is done, main.ts logic is done. Now it's time to write the HTML part. And also one more thing, here I'm using NgFor because I want to use execute NgFor here. Okay, so you can see to iterate the loop. So firstly I'll show the page, and here I'm using horizontal row. That will help us to write the horizontal row, so that will help us to break down the headings and the actual logic so that it looks cleaner on the browser. So page, it will show the page number, Then unordered list, list item star NgFor, let user of users. So one by one it will iterate from users array, and then we will show user ID, username, and user email. So you can see this is the logic. So once you are done with the code, you can save it and you can see the output on the browser screen. So output is coming as page number 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you change, let's say page number, or maybe the page size, let's say changed page number to 3, save it, refresh it. So you can see from 7 to 9 it is showing. Okay. So this is how it actually works. So you can say this is a manual approach through which we can divide the entire data set into multiple pages on the basis of page per page record. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Share With.